Fear of death.
Essentially.
Yeah, I mean, on this occasion, I agree with Mr. Hanson. Fear of death.
I love the fact now that when people get around to watching the YouTube video of this, the first line is going to be Benj going, "It's called Fear of Death."
Fear of death.
That's so appropriate.
It's fitting. It's Why does it sound like someone's furiously shaking something?
Don't go there.
But why did it sound like someone was
I
furiously
blame
shaking
Alec
something?
personally.
I blame Alex for a lot of things. Was this true though?
Where's my pack of bases gone?
That you were shaking.
I was shaking.
Okay. So you're leading this entire conversation since you haven't been here for 2 weeks, and I'm playing Overwatch in the background.
Boo!
2 weeks. Tried like 2 months.
All right, fine. 2 months, 2 years. Well, we record in a week, and there were 2 of them. It's kind of right. I don't know. Fuck it.
Ben, you stand just confused now.
I just hate everything, everyone.
Nothing else new.
Things like
No, nothing.
So, Alex, did John get back to you, or were we just recording on our lonesome?
Well, he said he could do. I've just messaged him to see if he's okay to come on. Not had a response as of yet, so I don't really know.
I don't really know.
I don't really.
It's because he hates you.
Paying it back, it works for me.
Well, Benj, at least if John joins, you have someone who is as legendarily, I don't want to say miserable, but I'm going to say miserable as yourself.
It just means that, again, there's another person, meaning I don't have to say anything. I am actually the destroyer of a meta, apparently, so I'm going to keep that as a trophy.
Well, I got destroyed by a meta, so, you know, it's
kind of
a meta.
I am the destroyer of the local meta, and Mike has been destroyed by a local meta. And then I
will say I did get my arse royally handed to me at Milton Keynes. That was not Milton Keynes, at Bristol. I'm thinking
it's in the head.
Milton Keynes is another story.
Milton Keynes is another story.
Yes.
Milton Keynes was a different Saturday night.
Milton Keynes is where I'll be going at the weekend.
What, is there a tournament there?
No. I'm planning an anime convention, and that's the potential venue.
Milton Keynes is a horrible place, like the actual city itself. It's
War Games Workshop is supposed to still be a reasonable venue, isn't it? Or is it still there?
Oh yeah, no, it is. It's a fantastic venue. Just Milton Keynes is just roundabout.
Oh yeah, I agree.
It just and grids and.
Well, see, we're planning to hire out a hotel that's pretty near the motorway, and has like a shopping centre near it and about 12 restaurants at the back.
So no one needs to go near Milton Keynes, is what you're saying.
I like how you're having I just don't know where exactly it's going to be.
I just heard robots then. Is he doing a robot?
He is doing a robot.
He's doing the moves as well.
But yeah, so that should be fun. But no, Bristol was,
fun. Not really.
Well, first round was Rich Dean, who...
He's always fun to play. I can't. We're live, aren't we? I can't openly insult Rich Dean.
I still, we are.
Sorry, Reg.
He thanked my patience halfway through the game.
If Rich Dean could send me a picture of his face, because I know him, but I don't know his face. Like, I can't put the name to the face.
Ah, fair enough. But yes, that is where I learned. All right, Signar had some real horrible stuff just locked away in there.
If I have a regular War Machine opponent, it's Rich Dean.
Yeah, Signar actually just turn off McBain's feet, and that's fine apparently. Because super tough Kayazi with countermeasures on them, just 5 of those in a turn. That's fine.
Apparently.
Yep. What else do I have? Terry Slade.
Oh yeah, that's gonna hurt as well.
Yeah, he turned up with his Legion and went, that Arm 21 and that Arm 22 Warjack? Yeah, I'm going to total those in a turn. And then move on. Oh, that's a bit of a pain. Right, groovy. I ended up having to have Magnus in combat with what's the tentacle beast in Legion?
Proteus. Yeah.
Precious,
Yeah. I ended up having Magnus in combat with that for like 3 turns. With him just going, and I shall use my star attack to punch you in the face and do some damage, and then camp 5.
Just thinking regarding John, would it be worthwhile sending him an invite to the hangout just in case he does see it and jumps on? He's not doesn't look like he's read the
no,
message.
because I don't know what email address he'd want the invite to.
We've had him on before, haven't we?
I don't
Not
think since we
Hangout.
switched over to Hangouts.
I think we have.
Good. It's good that you think that.
Well, we are entitled to our own opinions, regardless of how wrong they may be.
You are, yes.
What kind of a?
Nice.
Yeah, it looks like we had him on back in February of last year.
That doesn't necessarily mean I still have the email address.
Let's have a look, see what see if we can find the email addresses.
I mean, I know one of his email addresses. I'm not going to read it out on air.
No.
Do.
Is it
John@web.com, surely.
Is it Grumpy Man and Master of Smallcom.com?
Anyway, I'd rather wait until he said yes or no
Yeah.
before sending you an invite.
I mean, we are down, so I want to inflate.
Yes, I agree.
What is this? The night of dodgy internet?
Clearly is.
Wouldn't want to inflict.
I'm playing over.
What? Wait, what?
I'm playing Overwatch, and my opinion is dangerous to meta, so I'm not speaking much.
Find out for my feet. What?
Okay,
Are we all going to shiver well anticipation?
wow, you're doing it now.
I don't know if it's a troll or not, though.
I think that was a troll.
Seriously, did no one get that?
What?
We got Shiver with anticipation.
Made out of
30
string
seconds.
and tin cans.
Have none of you watched Rocky Horror?
No.
Yes.
So Kurt probably got it.
I didn't hear her most of what you said.
So they'll make you shiver with anticipation.
It's a troll.
It's a troll, yeah.
Yeah,
Good one, mate.
it's a film reference. Damn it!
But with a troll. With a troll that damages the film reference.
What?
I don't know. He's lost me and I've seen the film.
I don't even know.
numerous times.
You didn't know, man. You didn't know.
Shiver with anticipate.
There we go.
I don't even know what's going on.
It is a line from the film Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Okay.
Okay?
Say it.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, you can die happy now. It's all good.
God, Benji, the worst.
I am. I'm the worst.
No, Nick's the worst.
I'm the sausage.
Oh, the verse.
Nick,
All right.
Yeah,
Nick's
the
not
verse.
the worst, because worst comes to
I'm
worst.
going to.
I can drive round to his house and punch him now.
Oh, that does help,
Really,
yeah.
I wish I had that ability. For a lot
That
of
would
people.
just make everything all right, wouldn't it? That would
To drive round to
world
Nick's house and
Netflix.
punch him. Why would you want to punch Nick, Benj?
Easy to drive around people's houses and
You know,
Well,
the ability
yeah,
to
but you
drive
can
is
drive
something
to
you can
anyone's-
learn.
You can't
I
drive to
can't
anyone's
learn.
house.
I have no spatial
Has he-
awareness.
Alex, has he said yes?
Yes. That's
Nice.
email
He
address.
will
to
marry
advise
you. He will go to the ball.
Yes, he will.
Oh, that's actually disappeared from the group chat.
We've got a topic, have we?
Okay. Well, I'm guessing we're talking about SmartCon if John's coming on.
Well, yeah, he was at WTC as well, so I figured.
Oh,
we
he was
could
at
talk about
WTC
that.
as well?
Yeah.
Alex, can you just send that address on Facebook, please?
On Facebook, yeah.
Yes, please.
Ben is very stupid singing. Right, supposed to do some painting, really, should know.
I painted a thing recently.
Did you bollocks?
What, your
A
thing?
fence. A fence, a door, a wall,
No, miniature.
a bicycle.
Oh, I cannot get past this. Fucking Torbjorn Turret.
Have you got my
Good.
email address, Mike?
Benj has become. Yeah, I've got the email address. Of
Nick. He's become Nick.
Yes, he's become the new Nick.
Without an
Next.
esports career. Where's my
Well, no,
esports
he's first
career?
started just playing LOL while we were recording. That's where he started, you see. So you're on good ground there.
I've already started recording myself, but it generally just turns into abuse. And
Have you
heckling.
just become a Twitch streamer now, Benj?
I have. I even got my tits out
Oh, God.
for donations.
What, to stop?
He's got subscribers and everything.
I have.
I weep for the future of the children's future and the future of children.
They're giving him $6 a month to never play Overwatch again.
Hey,
Nice.
hey.
That's the way to-
Hey.
That's the way to get a career, isn't it? Get paid not to do stuff like that.
Hey.
Hey now,
Hey.
hey now.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your
Hey,
game wrong.
now.
Is this?
So you've invited Bab.
Yes.
Can John speak for the next 2 hours and then I can go home?
You are home.
You know, you don't have to be part of the podcast,
I
Benj.
do.
It's fun.
I do. It's a penance.
It's voluntary, and we
not-
could
What
just say no.
What do you mean it's a penance, Benj?
I don't know. I'm just running with that. I am the abused, the afflicted, the humble masses, or a humble mass. I don't know.
Nice.
One for
What?
Quivering mass, perhaps.
I know.
Quivering mass.
You can touch my quivering mass.
Right, you can stop that now, the pair of you.
Oh,
He's warming to me. The noble radiation burn. He's warming to me.
So
Benj,
John
Benj,
says
I
he's
would
joined
not
the call.
warm to you if we were cremated in the same coffin.
No, I was talking about old brother Hanson there.
stop that shit.
No.
Oh, he's Frostgrave Ministry.
So John is part of the group, but he's not live on the voice chat.
He's not live on Channel 4.
Don't say fuck or bugger.
I've added him.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's not broadcasting.
Blah 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 blah.
No, a Yuki no Mino
Cod-
Sassoed, and it still did nothing.
Consummate professionalism knows no bounds. Right. What's that to drink?
Anticipation. The anticipation. Positively.
What were you
Oh,
anticipating?
what? He appears to be typing in a chat from
1863.
2015.
It was,
Classy.
it was 19...
So
Quickly,
right,
war.
he's not been added to the.
It's
Yes.
1920, and the scene of War Machine is in dire peril. Of all the officers in all the world, she had to walk into mine. She had...
Oh, John's calling us.
Someone muted him. Excellent. More calling Awesome.
Are we going to accept this one, or are we going to? You have
It
to
says
host it.
missed video call. The problem is he can't host because it's got to go on my YouTube channel.
I'll go on your YouTube. Oh, I just give up.
Can we drop him from that call and?
La 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 la. Right.
Oh, there's nothing worse than having a duo queue that just plays Mercy, both of them. And then
It's not. That's not the
that
word.
is literally the worst.
Really not.
Sausage. You've never played Overwatch?
I don't think I need to.
You do. Most people do.
I think I do.
It's
Left the other
I do.
hangout.
Not when that's the worst.
it's the common like zeitgeist.
I'll invite him again
game.
to this one.
Right, reinvite him. shite. Trying to press things, it's not working.
Oh, that's the wrong email.
John loves technology. He does.
Can you like ping him and say join this call?
I've sent him another invite.
It feels like we're
That's not-
missing someone. And I don't
No, it
mean
doesn't.
John.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
Unless it's a different email address, because the icon he's got in this chat is different from the one.
This is how all great podcasts start.
What?
Here you go.
Toodaloo.
I don't even know what that message
Right,
was.
try the. Have you got your Smogcon email?
I'm actually sending him a link that should take him straight through to it.
Okay.
Straight on through to the other side. Ow.
Via Facebook.
Yes, which he's already read. So
Okay. I believe Mike is send a link via Facebook. I sound like
Join
a
the
dead-
hangout.
oh,
Oh.
we have a John.
Ooh.
And he's muted himself.
Let's get ready to rumble.
There's a definite change there in the call though.
We're getting there one step at a time.
Y'all ready for this?
John,
Sharp.
Yo.
Oh,
You are
there's
live.
John.
you are live on Channel 4. Don't say fuck or bugger.
Good.
He has as much energy as I should be. No, never mind.
You've got way more engine than that, Stephen Ben. Something's wrong with you.
I've got the clap.
Oh,
No,
no.
that's not. I haven't got the clap. It may be.
You've got a certificate and everything.
It may be scabies.
Make me scabies. You're just no gout.
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 I'm not rich enough for gout.
He's not
Right.
eating enough pork and cheese.
No. We had a my brother's wedding and then my dad's birthday over the weekend. I think I may just contracted gout over the amount of food I ate that weekend. There was lots of it.
Contracted gout.
Fair enough.
Yes.
So,
Anyway.
how are you over there, John?
Yeah.
Swansea.
Definitely me.
Calm down.
Fuck me, he's so excited.
Happy to do a bit of talking about the WTC and SmogCon?
Sorry, say that again.
Are you happy to do a bit of talking about the WTC and SmogCon?
Yes. How long are you
Johnny, your enthusiasm is astounding.
Boundless.
I do my best. You know
Fair
me.
enough.
Should we crack on?
Yeah,
Have we got
I think we
any-
can get straight. So, do you want to go WTC then SmogCon?
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
We're not going to do any news or stuff because we've broadcast in the last 2 weeks, so stop that stuff.
Sounds good to me. So do you want to open us up, Mike?
My
Why
sound
bother?
level okay?
You sound okay, John. That's fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
why bother doing the introductions, Alex? You'll just interrupt me anyway.
I'm Mike. Sorry, Alex.
For a podcast.
Hello and welcome to Elite Cadre, the Hordes War Machine podcast that doesn't take itself too seriously. I'm Mike.
I'm Alex.
I'm Kurt.
I'm Sombra.
Yeah, that's good. And today we have a special guest in the form of Mr. John Webb.
Hello, I'm John.
He is John. We love John and his
Effervescence.
Endless optimism.
I'm just going to sit here and let other people say it.
Factability or whatever the hell. I don't know.
I did listen to the last show, and yeah, it was a stunning send up off me. Thanks, gents. That's appreciated. I believe Solus was bandied around at one point.
Now that's just unfair and possibly true. So, first of all, because we've broadcast in the last couple of weeks, we're not going to do the full news setup and all that. We're going to actually try and keep this to time for once. It's not going to happen, but we'll try. So the first thing we thought we'd talk about, because we didn't get the chance last time, being as Alex was a little under the weather, would be his experience at the WTC. And, of course, Mr. Webb was also there. So, gents, does one of you want to give us a spiel?
I suppose I can kind of kick off with this. I think John maybe do a bit more talking about our next topic, which will remain secretive for now, unless you've been listening live. So, yeah, WTC was in Holland, just outside of Amsterdam, a Centre Parks, the Camp du Eemhof, which was an interesting venue. It was, it's big enough to cater for everyone at the WTC. I think maybe kind of one of the key concerns, first of all, with the venue was the actual gaming space. It wasn't, unfortunately.
Well, I was going to say, I did see some live streaming over Facebook from a friend of the show, Norbert, and it did look a little tight inside that venue. Yes,
particularly for myself and John as judges or referees, whatever you want to kind of call us.
Did you take your bicycle?
No, did kind of nearly get run over several times by bicycles on the Monday afterwards.
We're just sad they missed.
Well, large tournaments aren't the same without some kind of bodily injury to Alex Smith, really, are they?
Not really, no. But yeah, so the actual venue, gaming venue, wasn't great. A couple of the rows in particular were very close to one another, and you really had to kind of fight to get down them. On the whole, though, kind of the gaming element and sort of the necessity of judges was good. There were quite a lot of us there for a start, but there weren't really too many real meaty calls to kind of make. It was more a lot of people just sort of saying, we've got this measurement to make. We don't want to kind of win the game on a silly technicality. We don't want one of us to make a mistake. So can you just take over and make the ruling for us?
So what you're saying is you got drunk the whole weekend?
Yeah, me and John were smashed all weekend.
Excellent.
I don't know how we cope personally, but
standard operating procedure, I believe, at this point.
Pretty much. So yeah, I think it's generally quite an easy tournament to judge, to referee. Pretty much everyone who's there knows what they're doing. You would kind of expect that with the caliber of the event as it is. The accommodation again was really good. A little bit spread out, should we say? It's quite a large kind of centre parks. Anyone who's been to a centre parks will know it's all sort of chalets spread around the park. So it would have been nice maybe to have all the gamers in one area. Could have kind of socialised a bit better, a bit more, because it is, really a social event. And if you don't know already, it was won by Australia Echidna. I think it was the team of Australians that won it. They beat the German team in the final. You got anything really to add at this stage, John?
No, I mean, like you say, there was a few squeeze points on the rows, which was unfortunate, and the lighting was pretty iffy.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the painting you did, the judging for the painting? Obviously, will kind of helped you through that, but
again, the main reason for being there, I was there to kind of judge the painting and also transport the scenery and mats. So yeah, that was quite a fun run.
The WTC, as far as I'm aware, is a fully painted event, isn't it?
Correct, but I think it was quite clear, hopefully without offending anyone here, that painting probably wasn't the priority of most of the players. I mean, the WTC is sort of considered the apex of the competitive scene, and not so many people were interested in the painting. There were still good armies out there. We certainly found enough to judge, but I saw a lot of armies that were kind of bodged together from fairly likely several other people's armies. You saw a lot of Warjack spam lists where each of the Warjacks was painted in a different color in a different style, which implies they'd been kind of borrowed from friends. So, and I'm not saying that as a criticism of the event. You just have to accept that WCC is to prove who's the best country in the world, and it's nice to see painting enforced, but I think for a lot of people, it's kind of an
afterthought, maybe.
It's not a priority at all. So but there was a.
Well, I was going to say, I think there were, like you said, there were enough players there with decently painted armies that it wasn't just kind of a case of, oh well, here's 3 armies that have been painted by, the person who's playing them. Here's first, second, third. There were enough armies. The winner of the painting was very much a worthy winner. Exceptionally painted Cadre.
Of the ones that we sort of kind of assessed to be worth of a second look, and the kind of the top cut, I would call it. They were all fantastic. So there were clearly some people were there, to take the painting seriously. But it's just how many players were there? Like over 400, I think. Yeah. And we did a top cut to about less than 10 armies. Yeah. So that's quite a small percentage of the field. But the ones that we top cut to were of a very high standard for sure. Yeah. And like I say, this is not me kind of having a go at WTC players or format or anything. It's just me consciously being aware of what the purpose of the format is, I guess, for the majority of people.
And I suppose really the only way you can kind of impact on that, and it's I don't think it's kind of our place to say what is the best thing for a competitive event like that, but would be to include some degree of paint scoring in the final results. And then we.
I agree with John here.
No, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right, but if your objective is, well, this is it. Then it gets to sportsmen and all sorts of different sort of random soft scores.
And that way, madness lies.
Then that is where madness lies. Yes, this is very true.
I think more importantly, was there a high percentage of waterfalls in the?
Not many monkeys on bases.
I can't remember.
Oh yeah, go for it. We're explicit.
Yeah. Fucking waterfall gate.
Would this be the comment about extended families voting for things?
I'm not going to get drawn into it. I'm just setting myself up. Let's just say next year there will be a waterfall and probably LEDs and maybe a smoke machine music, because
right. Smoke effects.
Are you going to mechanise?
No. Will that be played?
Ben, shush. Are you going to mechanise your old Argent? Will it move on the tray?
Oh, it's not going to be. Well, it will be orcs actually, but not those orcs. Different orcs.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to say I think with a lot of those painting competitions as well, big stuff does well. If you don't get what we're talking about Games Workshop's Army on Parade, which is the whole kind of paint an army, base it on a 2x2 board, take it into a GW
which is
store.
It's not compulsory to base it, just for the record.
Oh, is it really? Okay, I thought it was.
No, but that's how you win. That's the joke. It's
right.
You don't even have to have a base.
Yeah,
but that's
that's the idea.
Don't paint your model, stick them on a base with something. Yeah.
Biting my tongue.
Yeah. So big flashy stuff tends to win. And unfortunately for John, I think was it an Epic Hawk army that you entered on what was a relatively plain board.
Hey, I
24 hours notice.
Yeah, 24 hours notice building that board. So how dare you? Yeah. No, I think in all seriousness, I just entered for a laugh. I they kept asking because I'm quite new. I've moved house fairly recently, and I'm sort of getting back into that store culture because I've not been part of a GW store culture since I left working for Games Workshop
millennia.
8 years ago. So I'm going to get back into it, and I was like, I can't because I haven't painted anything GW for donkey's years. And I thought, well, actually, no, I have been painting a GW army for the last year. It's just been a epic, 2nd edition epic scale army. That not even a contemporary, in inverted commas, epic army. So I feel
that epic has not been released yet, so you're still on the current scale.
No. As in, I'm playing second edition Epic, which is 2 editions ago of what is currently the current edition, which is 4th edition. Yes, 5th edition is coming. Yeah,
true.
So
actually,
so
they,
yes,
they are messing about with all the scales of the
yeah.
of the games.
Scale.
Blood Bowl is
Scale of
changing
Epic.
scale, which just
How is Blood Bowl changing
but,
scale?
But yeah, my concern was more of the 3 armies that won, or the 3 armies that placed. The one that was gold was not necessarily as good as the other 2, shall we say?
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't really want to get drawn on it because I've said as much as I feel like saying, and anymore I just start like an angry, bitter old man.
Yeah. Well, you need to
should we
get
move back to
hammered
the
like
WTC then?
Yeah, maybe.
Again, Mike.
I was going to say, should we move back to the WTC then?
Yeah. Why are we talking about Games Workshop? Screw those guys.
We've talked about them plenty enough on this show over the years. So, Alex, do you think then that you're going to? Because I know you're current runner of the ETC, European Team Championship for those who aren't aware. Go to it in Stockport, fun event. Will you be continuing what certainly the previous runner Jamie P was putting in with adding more painted armies as the years go on?
Yeah. So the intention was this year to run the ETC with 2 painted armies per team as a minimum. With the change so close to the actual event from Mark II to Mark III, decided to run the event at Mark III, which I think was the right thing to do. Decision was made to kind of drop all painting requirements for last year's event.
I think that was honestly the correct choice for this year.
Yeah.
Because you need a good few months to get a painted army, certainly for some people, probably a few years for myself. So giving people, you've got this year off because we've had the edition change, and then
I think next year we're going to push it back up to 2. So it was 1 the year previous. I think we're going to say 2 years. Give people notice as well. It's not going to kind of drop on them at the last minute that you need 2 lists painted. I think I'm going to look to get tickets on sale early next year. There is effectively space for 30 teams tickets wise this year. We're going to try and cap it at 32 again like we did this year. But the Scots who won the ETC this year have got a free ticket through to next year, and also offered a free ticket to the highest placed European team at the WTC, which is one of the German teams. So they will be back again this year, hopefully.
I actually do like that system of encouraging painting much more than painting scores or kind of giving some sort of soft score into the result. I mean, War Machine's a very crunchy game. Adding something as subjective into it maybe doesn't quite work so well. But yeah, I like the idea of like slowly just nudging people towards painting, kind of, if you've got one more painted thing on the table, that's fine. It'll be another 3 or 4 years before you have to be fully done.
Yeah, that's it. Before every single team has to be fully painted, it'll be a good few years yet. So,
I mean, as John said, you're still going to see the full range of miniatures from the I bought this 20 minutes ago and I've glued it up now to the beautifully painted and everything kind of in between. And
that's it. And I think that he's kind of, I wouldn't want to place the implication on there that everything, you have to have 2 fully painted armies that have to be painted by the person playing them, because again, for some people, last minute changes, it's just not possible. They borrow a friend's miniature, yes, it has to be painted.
Let's not forget, as much as some people don't like it, there are a lot of people who just don't like to paint. And that's that's fair enough. So giving them 4 or 5 years to either get someone else to paint something or buy a painted army or whatever, I think that's a little bit more fair.
So any other questions WTC related? You got any other thoughts, anyone, or anything?
So I mean, you've kind of had a walk around. How do you think Mark III is settling in for the big tournaments now? Because we've had a good 6 months now.
Yeah. Well, not quite. It's kind of early July, but late June.
So 4 months, let's say.
Yeah. And I think it isn't as big a change from Mark 1 to Mark 2. This new edition is more of a subtle change. Less has changed model wise. I think with War Room being sort of already being out there, a lot of people using it already. Everything is in there straight away, so I think people are able to pick up on it quicker.
I would say that for quite a few people, because there were some shortages in the decks when they first came out. I don't know what the situation is now, but there were some people who basically were forced to switch to War Room if they wanted to carry on playing. Yeah. I'm not sure that's an ideal situation because several of these people have gone, well, I didn't want to, but it's there. So I personally love War Room, use it all the time, but
with the current dynamic updates and the fact that there were some issues with Mark III, shall we say, that are being addressed by the first big errata, that perhaps I'm very much of the opinion that cards are great. I've always been a card guy, but even I'm transitioning to War Room now just because those decks came out and within the first few weeks were invalidated. I play Grix, a lot of Grix models. It's stupid, so the gang rule changed, but a lot of those cards technically become invalidated.
Yeah.
And now we know, Scorn is kind of getting a rewrite. So if you bought the Scorn deck,
tough luck.
If you haven't already. So it's that thing of whilst I would always prefer to play with cards because I'm old fashioned like that, perhaps inevitably War Room is going to become more and more the driving.
I'll be honest. I think with the way wargaming has gone, going back into sort of the mists of time. I know.
You are old today, actually.
But we're going back to let's put a time travel machine on here. About 20 years ago, you're looking at games where there's not a very big internet presence, there's no podcast presence or anything like that. You're looking at games that are released, they're static, and if you want a revamp of something or a change, you've got to wait for your new Warhammer armies, your new codex.
Yeah. I mean, before War Machine, they were the first company to make stuff to come out with cards, which is again, it's
Rack and Roll.
Oh, of course, yes.
Rack and Roll some of the time, if not before. Yeah,
you're right. Of course. Sorry.
Just because they're dead doesn't mean they didn't happen.
I'm with John. I prefer cards. I still haven't got. I like building on War Room. I like army listing on War Room, but I still can't get the hang of playing it in a game.
Yeah. Well, I think it's good that the option is going to remain there because otherwise it would be, to play this game you have to go and spend £300 on a tablet if you don't have one, which is just a kind of ludicrous demand. So it's
Plus
nice that the
quid for War Room.
Yeah, it's like it's nice that the option is still there.
Yeah, definitely.
Play with cards. I can see it becoming infinitely easier for those people who do use War Room in future, just because we're looking at every 6 months cards are going to change now. We don't know, and I think this is going to be the key thing, quite how many cards are going to change. They're saying top 5% and bottom 5%. That's quite a few models potentially.
Yeah, but I think what you've got to consider as well is when they look at that top 5%, they may well change one interaction on one of those cards that may well then have a knock-on effect on another rule that, they have to change several other cards within a faction. So I think while they are kind of addressing...
Well, we've already seen the mass card change with Gang and Flank.
Yeah.
I mean, look how many cards that they're potentially looking to have to reprint because of that one. The errata went from nothing to 14 pages, largely based off that. There's more errata for Gang and Flank in total than there was for pretty much the first 4 years of Mark 2, just because the rules were all over the place. That did seem very much a find and replace that didn't quite work. Which there's no excusing that one, but it happened.
That's it. You kind of got to acknowledge that and move forward, really, haven't you?
Yeah. And I think there are other companies who would have just stayed with their original line of working as intended. So it's interesting to see that they took that feedback on board. They went, okay, people aren't happy. Let's make this work how the players are actually going to play it. So, yeah, you've always got to balance it between this is how the players play and this is how we want the rule to work, and generally the real one lies somewhere in the middle. So yeah, but at the moment, keep your eye on the judge forums, because has everyone seen the controversy of the week?
Yes.
No.
This is Timecast.
This is the hilarious one. That was the request to see if you had to confirm your opponent's measurements before they tried to do something.
What?
So let's say on my turn, I know if I move 6 inches, I've got a range of 12, and I can measure 18, and from where I am, that hits your caster. Okay.
Creep.
So it was someone asking if they had to confirm that 18, or if they could request someone to move 6 and then measure 12. And I just sat there going, well, no, you're just being an arse there.
Yeah.
Because
is it that important?
The game is fully open measure. You can measure whatever you like. You can put proxy-based
But it
bands.
was about what happens if someone's mismeasuring or misunderstanding measurement, and it was just unnecessary. I mean, it's the kind of thing that there was a couple of instances at the WTC where it's not the same question, but a very similar thing of if I can kind of get my opponent to make an illegal maneuver by mistake, can I benefit from it? And it was just like, I mean, to the letter of the law, sure, but do you really want to be that much of an asshole? Like, is that what this game is boiled down to? And I don't think it has. So, and it was, again, it was a tiny percentage of rules questions.
It is.
Whatever, but it was just that sad thing of like, oh, come on, guys, like, we don't play for money. This is toy soldiers. You're pushing, stupid dragons around a table. Does it really matter that much that you're gonna kind of bamboozle someone or like gotcha them by saying, well, you said it was 11 inches and actually it was 10.8 or whatever, and it just seems so petty. Yeah. But for some people that matters so much to them. So
it does.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm a washed up club. What do I know?
I completely agree with you, John. At the end of the day, it has to be there for the love of the game. And I said pretty much on Twitter, it's like either you agree on the measurement that's being taken, or you go to a judge and they measure it, and that's it. That's the end of it. The whole game falls apart with that cooperation.
You have to win your games on stupid technicalities like that.
Yeah.
Just get a new hobby, because I think you're in the wrong hobby. And I know some people might not like that, but it's just that thing of like, if you literally have to prove you're a bigger dick by being a bigger dick,
I think basically,
it just really.
Basically, we're saying follow Wheaton's law.
Absolutely, yeah. Don't be that guy. Don't be a dick. Yeah. But hey, like I say, I know nothing about the game. I'm scrubbed here, so it's all good.
Well, after this last weekend, so am I, because that was appalling and painful.
You reached the heady heights of winning a tournament. Has that all gone to pot now?
Well, I got third in one tournament, which is good, and then second in the next one, which is even better. Then I won one, and this last weekend I went 0-3.
Right.
Is that a 0-3 drop, or is that just a 3-round tournament?
3-round tournament. I will say the opponents did get were Rich Dean, Terry Slade, and Ryan
Evans.
Ryan Evans. So I don't feel too bad about being beaten by those players, because they are pretty good players. But yeah, that hurt. That really hurt.
I thought I was good at this game.
That's quite a bounce down.
So yeah, but they were fun games. Even if Rich Dean did stop halfway through the game and go, I'm glad you are so patient about this. It's like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Just roll to hit with Kane again. It's fine. Anyway, so have we got any more? Yes, fun times. So have we got any more to say on the WTC at the moment?
There were too many mosquitoes.
Yes.
There were lots of mosquitoes, yeah.
I would say, I believe the announcement for the venue for next year has been made as well. It's Belgium. Was it the Floral Palace or
something along those lines? Yeah, it's a big old hotel near Bruges.
They get the whole hotel to themselves for the whole weekend, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Having had a look at it on Google Earth, it looks like a very nice place, like 2 minutes from the seaside. So,
and I think it's slightly more accessible than this one as well, because this one was a little bit in the back end of beyond.
Yeah.
Well, I did look. It's not actually that far to get to, even if you're driving from the UK.
Yeah.
So
I drove to years. Well, Rich drove, but I was in a van.
There was a little bit of controversy. Again, not wanting to kind of come across too negative as the whole event, because I think it was a really overall well-run event and enjoyed by pretty much everyone who was there. But there was a little bit of controversy around the transport back from back sort of away from the venue. Kind of on the Friday that the event started, the organisers had arranged a shuttle bus to run from the airport to the venue. It's about an hour and a half trip from the airport to the venue, so it's effectively like as this bus was leaving the airport. As it was, myself and a couple of the guys turned up at the airport just as one had left. It was full when it left, so we wouldn't have been able to get on it anyway. But it was a 3-hour wait for the next sort of transport to the venue. We actually chose to go by public transport, which took us nearly as long, not quite as long, but nearly as long to get there. But obviously we weren't just sat in the airport kind of doing nothing for that time. But then on the Sunday and Monday, there was no kind of real organisation by the kind of organisers on the way back. And while in their defence they never said there would be, I think kind of some people were expecting that because the transport was organised on the Friday, it would also be organised on the Monday. Unfortunately, I think this is perhaps an issue with the Netherlands. Taxis were very expensive. People were sort of saying they were being charged €100 to get from the venue to the airport, if not more than that.
I was going to say, if you're taking a taxi to an airport, be prepared to pay through the nose.
Yeah, that's it. But and I think the transport options were there. I looked into it, and there was a bus, but that again only ran every couple of hours. There's a bus from the venue to a nearby town, which you could then get a train from the town to the airport. Not ideal, but if you do the research, it is there.
Yeah.
I think
I would say that's the key thing with any big event like this, that you're going to do your homework 10 times over before you go.
Yeah,
because
that's it.
That way you can make sure that you're actually getting there at the right time, coming back at the right time, and paying a not exorbitant price. Yeah. Because it's very easy to make mistakes with transport that just.
Oh yeah. Definitely. And I mean, if you think if you're flying from Amsterdam, an international flight at 8 o'clock in the morning, if you think, oh well, we'll get up early on the Monday morning, we'll fly on the Monday morning, gives us a Sunday to relax. But then you think, oh well, I need to be at the airport really for 6 o'clock. So that means I've got to be leaving the venue at around 4:30. So A, you're paying for a taxi at 4:30 in the morning, and B, you're paying for a taxi to the airport. So yeah it's going to be expensive. So I mean, for the organisers side, I don't know if any of the organisers for the next event are listening, or if anyone listening does speak to them, but my kind of thought on it would be is, if you're going to offer transport, brilliant, but I think you should offer transport there and back. Put the provision on both ways, let people know exactly what's going on, and then they know before they're going, or just don't bother and let people make their own way there.
Well, I think with everything like this, it is going to come down to cost. Purely
as well. We were paying for the transport to get there. It wasn't as if I don't know if it was subsidised by the organisers at all, or we were. It was paid for by the attendees to get there.
Okay, so something to consider for Belgium and the rest of the WTC organising committee.
Do your planning in advance.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, I think we're done with the WTC discussion at this point, so let's move on to something that's, well, it's still relevant to the guest, but possibly a little bit more relevant. We did speak
closer to home.
Well, yes, quite. We did speak about it a little in the last episode, and frankly, I think over the 5 years, there's been relatively few episodes that have been SmogCon free, because it's just such an exciting event.
But it helps that all four of you have all worked at least one SmogCon for me, I want to say.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yep.
What can I say? We're gluttons for punishment.
Is Ben just late?
Yes.
Is he doing his standard SmogCon drill?
Hey, Hey, I work. God damn it, for a living.
And
Photographic
slept a little
evidence.
We do have that photo of you sort of hunched over a SmogCon desk. Just kind
There
of
were people that wouldn't go to bed.
How is that my fault, Benj? How is that my
Never
fault?
said it
I
was.
was just there to take the photo, nothing more.
Anyway, so John, tell us about SmogCon 2017.
Sure. Well, first of all, I want to say, Benj, your avatar's Mia, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the wrong waifu, mate. Wrong waifu. Come on.
Sorry.
Monster Musume fans.
Yes. SmogCon 2017. It's our 6th year, which is nice.
Did you ever think you'd get this far?
Well, I mean, I made a 5-year plan, and I'm glad we got to the end of the 5 years, and now I'm sort of trying to work out what to do next. So
you did 5 years, and then no one actually seemed to stop you and say, "No, John, this is ridiculous."
And there was a moment where I was like, "Oh God, what have I done? Why didn't I stop at 5? This is going to be an utter disaster." So that was fun. Yeah, I think it's the cycle I go through, and every year, the first quite stressful. And it looks like it's going to be an utter disaster, and then it all kind of slides into place, and things start picking up, and people start buying tickets, and all is good in the world. And I think it didn't help. The Mark III launch has had an impact. I won't lie. I think we're starting to stabilize now. We're starting to get into a positive place with the game. But with every new game launch, people transition away. They transition into other games. And so that has definitely had an impact. Ticket sales are down on last year, but they're actually we're quite healthy now, and in a weird way, because of where we are with the kind of the budgeting of the event and the lifetime of the event and the new venue, we're actually in a more stable place than we've ever been, which is good. Because
I was going to say, looking at it, John, you've only got 68 tickets remaining at the moment. So
yeah, well, that's 68 plus 5. That number's not quite right. It's a tie-break issue. There are 5 more than it shows. But yeah, so there's about 74 tickets left. Those are all the tickets that will be available. There's no chance we physically want to have space to put anyone else in if people don't get those initial 400 batch. So previous years we've sort of released 300 to 400 and then done extra batches. We can't do it this year because of the venue change.
Do you want to just have a quick mention about the venue change, just if anyone out there isn't aware of the change?
Yeah, so SmogCon is kind of a travelling circus. We've been in 3 previous venues, and we're now going to our 4th. I really liked the London venue. It was quite posh. It was quite accessible for me. It was quite accessible for Europe, but I know cost was a concern for some people, and also it was a little bit in the middle of nowhere. So it was a thing of you were kind of stuck. Structure was interesting. I mean, I'd spent every SmogCon for the last 2 years going to buy sandwiches from the co-op down the road because I didn't want to pay their prices. But so we've moved to Birmingham for a couple of reasons.
I was going to say that the 1 year I was there for the SmogCon at the Hilton, I did have a bag of bagels and peanut butter in my room. So it's like, okay, I need food. There we go. That'll do.
I mean, I think that's kind of a good survival trick. Is I always have a little stash of survival good. I mean, the WTC I had, even though food was provided, I brought stuff with me as well, so that if for whatever reason I
did you bring some tap water as well? By the way,
I actually did, bizarrely, and luckily I happened to bring my own water. I brought a couple of bottles of sparkling water over, and that actually saved our life on the first night.
What actually was happening with the water at WTC?
Yeah, they just wouldn't. They didn't want to give us water.
I think it's the continental European thing that you pay for water. I don't think it's too unusual in Europe that you pay for water.
Okay.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, that's true. And I suppose partly it's whenever we were in France and in my sort of childhood, we were always encouraged to drink the bottled water, not the tap water, for various reasons. So yeah, maybe it was just a kind of a. I don't want to say health and safety. That's ridiculous. But you know what I mean? Like, there was certainly a
almost a cultural thing, really.
There was a cultural kind of misunderstanding between a lot of us who were like, "Can we have some water, please?" And they were like, "Well, yes, it's behind the bar. Go and buy it." But it all got resolved in the end. But the first night there was some amusing, kind of underhanded water smuggling going on, shall we say? Yeah, it was interesting.
That really does sound like a euphemism, John.
Yeah.
So will there be tap water at SmogCon?
I believe there will be water stations provided. I would imagine.
That's the number one question, isn't it? The burning question: water.
Absolutely.
I was going to say, as someone who's organising a convention at the moment, not wargaming related, that has gone into every single hotel we've been looking at as just one of the items on the thing. It's like, we need iced water available 24 hours.
I mean, it's pretty standard. Like, whenever I'm in America, the American cons do it. Every single con we've run, there's been the same thing here.
Yeah, it's quite simple.
So
because
I just think
if they don't provide it, people will die.
Yeah, and I think that is.
They'll game at the tables until they collapse and die.
I think this is maybe why it's been such a big deal has been made with the water. Is I think the US is probably the vocal minority. The worldwide meta kind of hears from. So the majority of podcasts are American. The video casters, there's Enter the Crucible. There was the Page 5 guys as well doing theirs. So I think that most people kind of hear about the issues from a US point of view. So like you say, for the US, it is standard to be drowning in tap water wherever you go, really. You go into a restaurant, the first thing they do is pour you a glass of tap water. It is just a given that is expected.
And double take you when you say thank you.
It even had fruit in it, James.
What was I sorry?
So, moving away from the topic of water, we should probably move more on to the
John. Is there going to be water at SmogCon? You need to answer this important question. Let's move on. I apologise.
Good. So we're in a new venue. There's no guarantees we're staying there. It's going to be interesting to see how people respond to it, and I will be seeking feedback after the event if people preferred other venues, But what I will say, and obviously I think Mike can testify to this now because I know he's hunting for venues, shall we say. There are a finite number of venues in this country that will fit an event of this size, and none of them are cheap. So it's an interesting balancing act between finding a venue that is cheap for me to hire, and then finding a venue that's cheap for you guys to stay in, and then finding a venue that people can get to. And it's funny, really. I sort of thought, Birmingham, it's where I always sort of see it as the heart of where War Machine competitively started with the old nationals the Masters, when there was only one Masters at UK Games Expo. And it's roughly in the middle of the country, so I thought, it'd be quite accessible. People will not struggle to get there. And I don't know, some people are sort of saying, it's harder to get to than London, but I don't know if that's just
Codswallop is what that is. Codswallop.
I think it's hard to get to for some bits of the south.
Right.
But for everyone else, it should be an absolute doddle.
Everyone moaned about London, so I moved out of London, and now people are still moaning. But
I think the important lesson to learn here is that irrespective of what you do, people will moan.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. And constructive feedback is not a problem. I am, everything I do for a reason. So don't think I'm just doing stupid things and being irritating. And I think Birmingham will probably be better in the long haul.
Well, I will say UK Games Expo seems to have flourished at that hotel. Admittedly, it's moving into NEC1 now rather than the hotel, but it's still at the same venue complex.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. And it's interesting, people have asked about food. So there is going to be, they have like a kind of a food hall there where they'll have a couple of different stands. Now, I'm confirming the menu next month with the venue, but it's there's going to be 3 or 4 stands selling different. There might be like a taco stand and a burger stand and whatever. So that will be in the venue itself. Prices will be com prices. We do get stiffed a little bit there, but they'll be as good as I can get them. But if you just have a look about, and again, I'll post some of this stuff up on the website. There are standard food premises in the very near vicinity. There's a Pizza Express down the road, there's a Sainsbury's, there's pubs, so if you're prepared to take a step outside the venue, which is probably a good idea.
What I will say,
go and get some fresh air.
What I will say with stepping inside the venue, you have a very nice Indian restaurant called the Rupali, which is just down the road. You have a carvery, basically on the other side of the M42, which is about 5 minutes from the venue. You have a very nice pub called the Phantom Coach, which is over towards Warwick Arts Centre. There's plenty of places where you can go and either go and get food, or standard takeaways, or as John said, you've got a Sainsbury's really nearby if you just want to go and get a sandwich. So,
yeah,
I don't think food's going to be as much of a problem this year, and you're not kind of locked into the venue, paying venue prices. If you're prepared to just have a quick scout about, and Mike, I'll probably hit you up for some of those places, and we'll put them on the website so people can find them kind of more easily. But yeah, cool. Just don't be afraid to do a quick Google. Like, everyone and their dog's got the internet now. Just do a quick Google and see what else is out there. I will
say this beforehand: the venue is somewhat hostile to having pizzas delivered to it. So please, just try and avoid that. I've been to a convention there where there were people coming in with stacks of Domino's boxes, and they nearly kicked the convention out. Wow. They had, admittedly, for other reasons as well, but they had a meeting at 4 a.m. with the regional area manager, and a sort of, right, you're having food delivered to the hotel, people are getting pissed and falling over in the bar. We may need to
I think with any event in a hotel that provides food, I think if you're gonna get food, be discreet. Be sensible. Be discreet. I think I think hotels get that not everyone is going to buy food from their venue, and even if they're not eating every meal there, they may well get some meals there, and they'll make some money on drinks. So I don't think they mind. If you're walking with a bag of food from Sainsbury's, but like you say, a big old stack of pizzas from Domino's is pushing it.
I will say, top up on the breakfasts and keep yourself going throughout the day, because frankly, the breakfast at that hotel really quite nice.
Yeah,
I always make sure I grab like some fruit and maybe a muffin or something to kind of eat at lunchtime because breakfast is included in the hotel price if you're staying, and if you're not, why not? Because the miniatures really cool. Basically,
it's one of the only hotels I've ever seen that does soy-based yogurts, and that made me very happy. It's a small thing, but for those of us who need them, it's not.
Yeah, I'm there.
You've got the miniatures. I think most people probably will be aware of them. But you've got is it Brian Holt, the Goblin Pirate?
Brian Holt, yeah, that's it.
Brian Holt.
Brian. And
Irene, the Lady of the Night.
Yeah, something along that. She's just the Elven duelist at the moment. I haven't come up with a name for her.
Irene.
Irene Reese, maybe.
Irene.
Or Iris. Iris. IRIS.
Well, that sounds familiar.
I will say the pieces of art from those. Is it Florian Stitz who did them?
It's Florian, yeah. Who I did hang out with at the WCC, as did Al. We had dinner with him. He's awesome.
Yeah. The pieces of art for those are looking really nice. If the final product looks anything near that, they're going to be very nice models to add to the collection.
Yeah.
On the subject of
updates on the work in progress.
Yeah. The subject of Florian, he was saying that he is hoping to make it to SmogCon.
Cool.
Some of that, I believe he said he would like to come over, but he's only recently just had a baby girl. Kid. So yeah, so I think he said he'd love to come, but the feasibility of that is uncertain.
Somewhat diminished now.
Yeah.
Just to kind of quickly ask, so how do you get the SmogCon models? Just to kind of put that out there.
Right. So basically, the way it works is, if you stay on site, it makes my life a lot easier. And again, Mike can attest to this. The venue costs diminish as more and more people stay, and to make the event viable, we have to have people staying. And I appreciate cheaper hotel rooms are probably available in the nearby. Now, in all honesty, 2 people staying in a twin, it's 50 quid a night. That's not terrible for a 4-star hotel, including breakfast. But nonetheless, I appreciate it's still eating into your hobby budget. So I always try and do kickbacks to sort of say thank you to everyone who can stay in the hotel, because they are kind of making it so the event can happen. If no one stayed in the hotel, SmogCon would be nigh on impossible in its current state, and we'd have to kind of go back to the drawing board and rethink how we did things. So this year, to say thanks, we're giving away the hotel dice, which are going to be super sexy again. They're sparkly, same as last year.
Can you give us any information on the colours?
I cannot, because the colours tie into something that I'm not allowed to talk about. So no.
I think I can guess. Oh, no, okay.
You need to give us a secret reveal, though. At least one piece of exclusive information.
Well, I just told you the hotel dice are sparkly.
There we go.
Okay, we'll take that. We'll take that.
There's 6 on them this year, not 5, because that's pretty cool.
It says 6, yeah. Okay.
It says 6, yeah, not 5. In the hotel, you get some special hotel dice, which is pretty cool. The plan is to give you a piece of special scenery as well, small commemorative scenery. That one is the only one with a question mark over it, because everyone I had lined up to sculpt can't do it now. So I'm currently coming up with options for that. So keep your eyes out for that. You will be getting a rectangular and circular scenario template, zone, whatever you want to call it. The guys from Game Mat EU, who do all my mats and the 2D scenery that we'll be displaying this year for the first time, they've done some really cool designs, some sort of cobble designs with the Smocon logo on it. So you get one of each of those, and we will be ordering some more, so people can order us a double set. And
John, just on the subject of that, sorry, just coming back to the zones, have you got any plans to kind of put up a pre-order, as in kind of order before this date, and you'll be guaranteed an extra set?
Yes, so that I know how many to order, basically, because those things are not cheap. And then the big amazing one is we're doing 2 models this year. Last year we did one. We did the Captain Bones pirate. Captain Bones, his crew is growing, and we're adding an elven duelist and a goblin ship hand, I guess. Any resemblance?
I think he's the spyglass operator in the crow's nest, isn't he?
Yeah, there you go. Look, he sits up in the crow's nest and spots land. Any resemblance to War Machine characters, living or dead, is purely coincidental. They definitely are not proxies for any War Machine character, honest go. So that's I've got Steve Saunders, who sculpted some of the metal. Well, they're now metal. At the time, they were plastic. The battle box casters from the Mark II launch. He's doing the elf for me, and Brian Dugas, who is King of the Trolls, is doing the gobble for me. So that's really cool. And they're being traditionally sculpted with green stuff. None of this CGI fancy computer nonsense. So they are proper green sculpted, metal cast, real.
Say what you think, John. Don't hide behind hyperbole and clever words.
I love computer sculpting. It just lacks character and is not how we did it in the old days. So I'm on old.
You're one step away from going, we're carved out a coal.
Absolutely, yeah.
You don't know how good you've got it. In my day, it was carved out of your own bone.
My day, you had Margaret Thatcher's face as you woke up, and it sent chills down your spine.
No politics, Ben.
Sorry.
Still does. So that was all the swag. Anyone who's not staying in the hotel, I understand there are reasons not to. You will still get the standard Smocon dice, and the Iron Arena swag will, of course, be available to all. But it's like I said, it's just a kind of a thank you to anyone who can stay in the hotel. I recommend it anyway, because it makes your convention so much more easy, because you can just throw your crap in the room, not have to worry about it. Obviously, last year there was some light-fingered activity going on, which is disappointing. So obviously, if you keep your stuff in your hotel room, it will be the safest it can be. We're going to have security.
That has been somewhat of an unfortunate trend. I don't think just across Smocon, across multiple events over the last 12 months. I would recommend anyone who takes technology with them, or even in some case, some very nicely painted armies, please keep an eye on them. It really hurts to have to say it after having had so long of just being able to leave anything everywhere and just being perfectly able to, trust it. And whether it's people who are in War Machine or not, just please take care of your stuff.
Yeah. So to recap, what's in. So I'm going to say, just to recap with the room. So the benefits of the room, obviously, you get the miniatures, the zones, and potentially an extra piece of scenery and the dice. That's what you get for the room, which is
correct.
Good. worth 50
So I mean, two.
on its own.
I wouldn't say it's worth 50, but two models is about 20 quid now.
So 3-room with dice and yeah.
Well, that's,
Yeah,
I'd say
it.
there's one
Think of
night
it as
free.
exactly that. You pay me 50 quid for a free hotel room, and you're buying some miniatures and some dice with that. Yeah, there you go.
Exclusive miniatures and dice.
Turn on
Yeah.
his head.
Just call them precision dice and you'll be fine.
Oh, no.
No.
Did that bad go away in the end? Did we get over that? I think we got
What's
over
that,
that.
sorry?
Didn't
Buying backgammon dice and casino dice and
We need more casino dice.
game science dice. No, we do not need casino dice because I've seen those being used as they're rolled across the table and as someone with like
Drawing
about 50% painted
Skittle
armies now.
effect. Yeah.
Seeing those stuff smash across the front rank of your stuff and just taking whacking great chips out of things is one of the most infuriating things.
Dice cups. That's what we need now. Dice cups.
No.
Can we get a
No.
SmogCon license?
Dice towers. Dice tower.
Dice tower.
Rolling tower.
Yes.
I'm actually 50-50 as to whether the casino dice chipping my models is more annoying or the person I played when I've got a kind of a decent migraine coming on and they were using metal dice. And so every time they roll, there's a boom across the table. It's there going, oh, please leave me
Feel it
alone.
vibrate through the floor.
Oh, just people are the worst, essentially. That's what I'm saying.
People are the worst.
No, they're not sausages.
Back to sausages again.
Sausages.
No.
Sausages.
Okay,
So,
but
John, sorry.
going back to the
interrupted
hotel,
you.
though, that does actually sound like a pretty good deal. I would recommend people stay in the hotel if they can because I've stayed at the hotel before. The rooms are quite nice. Being on site is absolutely an advantage because you can just roll out of bed into breakfast and then play War Machine. There's none of this kind of 20 minutes back and forth. There are other hotels nearby. I can absolutely say now that walking site to site is not easy at the NEC complex, and if you're driving, then the car park is charged quite heavily at the NEC Metropole.
Yeah,
So,
I think we've got a rate of £12 a day, which is not amazing. It's the best I can do, I'm afraid.
it's cheaper than their normal one.
Yeah, I'm sure. If you're not,
Which I believe is £16 a day.
that sounds about right.
If you are price conscious on the parking, what you can do is park at the station car park nearby and walk to the hotel. That's a little bit cheaper, but you'll have to research that yourself. That's just from what I can remember. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Your
the venue
mileage
is quite close to the train station, and it's quite into the airport as well, isn't it? Like, so it's quite accessible, and then it's a short train ride into Birmingham itself if you want to go and check out the city.
Yes,
there's a cool motorbike
Birmingham
museum over the road.
International. Yeah, Birmingham International is the local station. It's either 1 or 2 stops from Birmingham New Street, which is the centre of Birmingham. So, if you want to go out of an evening,
or if you're bringing someone who doesn't want to come play War Machine and they want to go into town, I think the Cadre's museum is there. There's a motorbike museum. There's things to do.
Cadbury's is a bit further out.
yeah, the Cadbury's is in Bourneville. That's not central Birmingham,
Yeah.
but
Bourneville.
Fine.
yeah, you've got things like the Birmingham Science and Technology Museum. That's there. You can go to the Jewellery Quarter, the Gun Quarter, the Irish Quarter. You know,
Dudley.
What's that last quarter then?
Yam from Dudley.
Oh dear. Can we mute him or just have him killed?
I think he's just muted himself with his poor
please.
internet connection.
He's only 45 minutes away, so you know I could always
Punch in the face.
exactly.
With vendors, John. Sorry. Obviously, I imagine Bob is going to be there with his slew of con exclusives and new releases.
Yeah,
I think we need to clarify. Bob from Cerberus, the UK supplier of Privateer Press products.
Yes, not just a random man named Bob.
and he will
Uncle
be
Bob.
selling we're having the first ever PP official convention mini. I know what it is. It's very interesting. I can't tell you.
You have released some details on the website, which was the convention mini will be related to the new Hordes faction.
Correct.
It will be a convention exclusive.
Correct.
For those around the world, yes, it will be available on the Privateer Press website. We're not sure in what numbers, but it's usually a bit of a dicey one as to whether you can get on there and get the model in time. So if you can come to SmogCon, that would assure you one.
Yeah. Now, as well, I don't know if I've made this up in my head, but are Broken Egg going to be there as well?
Yeah, so we've got Bob's is going to be there with the Cerberus stand. Battle Foam are coming back, last I heard. Do need to confirm with them, but they're certainly on the books. And they're going to actually have a stand this year. So they came last year to kind of assess the event, and they did bring some stock for people that pre-ordered. They're going to have a stand on site, and yeah, Broken Egg are going to be on site as well. So that's really cool. I was chatting with the guys at the WTC. We'd actually arranged this beforehand, but no, they will.
Do we know who is coming over from Broken Egg?
Flanzer did introduce me to the guy. I want to say, is it James? I could be completely wrong there, but I want to say James.
Matt Bunting?
I'm never sure if Alex is trolling when he starts throwing names and something. You just assume he's trolling.
Yeah, no, he was one of the guys who was on the Broken Egg booth at the WTC.
It could have been. It could have been. Like I said, I don't think Flanzer's coming, but it could be. Maybe even Flanzer's going to be there. I could be totally wrong. So we're going to have, as well as PP stock, we're going to have some bags and some templates and widgets and tokens and stuff. So that's pretty cool. So we're, SmogCon has never been about a sales-based event. We are limited into what we can provide because it has to tie back to Privateer. We are a Privateer Press event. We are partnered with Privateer, and that's how we get the things we get from them. So don't expect Gen Con 2.0 anytime soon. But, we're starting to get some stuff going on.
And then Broken Egg do PP licensed stuff, don't they? They have some of their trays are PP licensed. I don't think the tokens
that's part of it because they have the official partnership. That means we're allowed to let them in. So that's cool. Yeah. And I think it's worth, we've sort of spoken about everything but what's actually happening at the con, and I'd argue that's probably the most important thing. PP have started to leak some of the details or announce through me and also through the Primecast on the website. It's going to be a really big year. I think last year it was still a big year, but it was kind of clear, with hindsight, Mark III was coming, and I think that did slightly tie their hands. Now we're in the kind of the brave new dawn, brave new world of Mark III. They're kind of coming in guns blazing, which is amazing. Oh God, that rhymed unnecessarily. I apologize. So we are going to get I want to call it a spoiler reel. I think it's probably the safest way to describe it. So it's not a keynote. It's more akin to anyone that was at SmogCon 4. We had the Gargantuans kind of reel where we saw some of the new Gargantuans with a brief.
Well, that was the second half of their keynote from TempleCon.
TempleCon, yeah. So this will be that kind of thing, but it's going to be based around the new faction. And again, I know only so much anyway, and I can't tell you what I do know, which is very limited. But it's I think if you are remotely interested in the first new Hordes faction since Hordes launched, although I guess Minions kind of snuck in there.
Minions became a faction in Mark II.
But on a technicality, we'll say
Merc's not a faction yet, though, are they?
No, certainly not at the
moment. Then you'll probably want to come to SmogCon because we're going to have whatever the format. It's going to be Friday night. And what's good this year is everything's in one room, everything's in two rooms next to each other, but all the gaming is in one room. So I know there was some problems, people missed stuff or they weren't aware it was going on. You're not going to be able to miss it this year because basically Friday night, once all the competitive stuff wraps down, the Iron Arena will remain open, but we'll also do the kind of the presentation there. So don't go anywhere Friday night until you've seen this because I think it's going to be kind of big. You're going to find out.
Go on, say it, John.
And you're going to start to see some actual models. What? The name of the faction? I genuinely still don't know.
Timing was amazing.
You said you're going to find out, and then it seemed like your line dropped. I think you were maybe sort of. It sounded like you were thinking whether or not to say it, but I think your line just dropped. So just go back to what you said. Then
it was poignant. It was very poignant.
You're definitely going to find out what were you saying? Sorry, John.
Oh, you're going to find out the name of the faction. Yeah. Which I don't know. You're going to see some models. Sorry.
Bagpuss.
Bagpuss, yeah. Bagpuss. Yep, that's the code name. You're going to start to see some of the models and I believe some rules hints as well. That's about as much as I know. you are obviously you're going to be able to buy the first model, which is pretty cool. And then not Schick, he's not coming. Hungerford and Matt Getz are going to be running some events which may touch on the new faction.
So that's how you pronounce his name, because Mike kind of fumbled over that.
Yeah,
I didn't fumble over it. I guessed at goats. I was corrected by Matt Townsend on Twitter.
I love your defiance.
But yeah, I think, with no knowledge of how that name was meant to be pronounced, I thought goats was a decent shot at it. So, you know.
No, really not. It was anything but goats.
It was clearly nothing but...
I apologise to Matt Getz for getting his name wrong. However, as someone with a name that gets mispronounced all the time, I understand that pain.
Well, Mike.
Oh, Mike.
Hey. That's all Mike to say, Joe.
Comedians in tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
I've got that silly little mustache and glasses too.
So we've got
Mike?
The pseudo keynote, the reveal. We've got the. Is it? I believe from what I've read, it's going to be kind of like a mass participation scenario game. Would that be an accurate description?
Yeah, there's going to be a finite number of spaces, but yes, it's kind of a multi-table.
Are we going to have to do a big war at the start of it to see?
Oh no, please!
I am going to throw you out the window.
Yeah, the new faction is Orcs. How did you know, Al? That's out of the bag.
Even if no one was playing Orcs, you still have to war to see who went first.
So that's that thing of if people, one of the reasons I do Smoke on the Way I do is to bring that kind of that PP interaction over. Obviously Dallas is going to be painting all weekend, so you get to hang out with Dallas, learn from him, see what he's painting, get some ideas. There are going to be hangouts as well, so we're not doing the formal classes, but there are still going to be formal sessions where you can sit down with Will and Matt.
That's sorry, I've just had a very interesting DM regarding a certain UK-based. Oh, he actually works for Cerberus, Mr. Enos, saying the new faction will be seen being played. That could be. I don't know if it's true. I'm
shenanigans.
Here's the bag of salt to take with that one. Just
But what I would say is, don't expect to see a 75-point, whatever the faction is called, army on a table being played. You will interact with it in some way, shape, or form if you get involved in Getz's scenario table, and that is literally all I know.
Basically, if you're interested in the new faction, it would be cool if you could come to SmogCon and maybe learn more about it.
I think it's.
I'm right in thinking with that scenario sort of event, it's the press gangers get first dibs, yeah. So the actual volunteers are allowed first.
Did you not get your invite to the Thursday night hangout where we all just play with the new toys and get to buy them, and that's genuinely not happening. There is no Thursday night hangout. We're not even in the venue till 2 a.m.
I was going to say there's going to be a Thursday night hangout, but I don't think it's the kind of Thursday night hangout that you would. Hangover that you'd anticipate. Would I be correct in saying that?
There will be 5 people hefting tables round, swearing at things. That will be the Thursday night.
I have a plan. So that we won't have to set up much scenery, so it won't be as bad as previous years. We'll see if my plan comes to fruition.
Are you just planning to get like entirely flat terrain and then a t-shirt gun, and then just stand at one end? Boom.
He's just going to stand there with a massive ornate cage, open the door, and then just loads of flying monkeys will come out. And
that's what I call
scenery.
Yeah.
You were going to say that's what you call us, weren't you?
Are you just going to throw terrain at the players when they turn up and say, you do it?
Yeah, I guess that was the plan.
All players must take alternating turns placing terrain.
That's the plan for the casual space. The comp space we will still have to set up, but that will be 2D scenery, not 3D.
Yeah. I will say to anyone in the Iron Arena, because you are all in one room this year, please do not take offence if at any point we Febreze you through the event.
What's the aircon like in the venue, Mike?
Actually, the aircon at
depends if they turn it off.
It is actually pretty decent. Because I don't know what suite you're in, but I know that the kind of the the large one that previously hosted War Machine there, that actually never got to the point where I felt like I should take my jumper off. So it was pretty good.
Good, because there's going to be 400 people in that room.
Yeah.
They were then. They were playing 40k mostly, weren't they?
The one we got, there were like 2 rows of War Machine, and then 40k, and then an ungodly amount of board games. I just looked at that room and went, "This is crazy. This is an insane gaming space."
It's.
And then the teardown for it as well.
Good.
Yes.
It's all gone quiet.
I think John's connection is a little...
so that's kind of what PP are bringing. So that kind of hopefully puts a bit of shine on the event and justifies why people should be coming. We've got... The Iron Arena is going to be open for the whole 24 hours for 3 days. I think we're going to probably fit about 100 tables in there. Yeah, you enjoy it, Mike. About 100 tables, so there'll be space for about 200 people at any one time. And that will not close. So unlike last year where we had to close some of the rooms down overnight, we won't have to do that now. So you should all be able to get a table pretty much at any point. The other half of the room will be the competitive side. The schedule is up. I think most people know what they're playing. So we've got Masters, Steamroller, Champions, Iron Gauntlet, Spell Draft, and we're doing a Who's the Boss this year if we can find out where the models went, because we have the models, but they got posted to the wrong place. So we're trying to keep them in the country and get them to me so I can paint the damn things. It's going to be Who's the Boss Prime, so we're going to be using the core 3, in inverted commas, casters from the original Primal, and then obviously for Mercs and Minions, where we're sort of making some sensible choices based on early releases.
There are no sensible choices for Mercs and Minions.
Oh, okay.
That just doesn't exist. No, there are only degrees of insanity.
And I'm thinking, because we're British, not American, rather than having the Wheel of Fortune style setup, I might try and do a tombola, because that seems very British. So it's going to be spin the tombola, pick your warcaster out of the tombola. But I need to make a Iron Kingdom.
That's fantastic. I love it. That's made my evening. Thank you, John.
Yeah, I'll bolt some rivets on the side of a tombola and we'll be good.
Bolt some rivets. That's not really. That's kind of a juxtaposition.
Shush, it works. It's fine.
I'll rivet some bolts. How about that then? Now.
Yeah, there you go.
At least he's not going to screw his nuts on. So
No, I'd never do that. I'd never do that.
Rivet nuts on.
So that's kind of the overview. We're already well over the 300 tickets mark, which is fantastic. There are, what do we say, about 70 odd tickets left? That's it now. Once they're gone, and you won't be able to get into SmallCon. So if you are remotely interested, now's probably a good time to get a ticket, because I don't know if they're going to be around much longer. It's 50 quid to get in. That gives you full access for the 3 days. And obviously, if you're staying in the hotel, you get the swag bag. If you're not staying in the hotel, you still get the free dice. Because small dice are probably the whole reason I invented this whole concept. I just...
I will say...
to get gates made, dice made.
I will say 50 quid for 3 days of gaming is a ridiculous bargain, to be honest. Because...
if you compare it to other events, it's not that expensive.
Oh, you're basically looking.
And I know
you're basically looking at 3 steamroller tournaments.
Which
it's a good 72 hours of gaming, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, no, 72, but
not quite, but yeah.
Yeah. At least 60.
Yeah, because we have to close at 5:36ish on Sunday, so I can pack up and get home. And now I've got a much longer drive. It's going to be more of a pain to get home. But
yeah, it's 2.5 hours to Basingstoke. Oh, that'll be.
It's not actually that far at all for me. It's only about an hour and a half.
Oh, someone's stabbing.
I thought I'd throw a bone to the northern crowd this year, because
Yeah.
I've done it in the south for a few years now. And as a proud northerner that I am, I think it's only time to bring it back. Not that Birmingham's in the
You're
north.
from everywhere whenever it suits you, though, aren't you, John?
Technically, yeah. What I would say is I'm a man.
I lived in Weston-super-Mare for a while, so I'm from the southwest as well. Yeah.
Just a man of the people, Kirk. Come on.
That's what it is.
I thought it was a man against the people.
And the world.
Yeah, depends on the people. I loathe you all equally. How does that work?
That works.
That's good enough. So, I will say, unfortunately, the appeal of Smog Dice has kind of it's dropped for me a little this year, but only because we now have Elite Cadre dice.
Yay.
So my
But
special
Elite Cadre dice thematically coloured for specific reasons.
They're purple because people wanted purple.
Okay.
And that is literally it. There's 4 purple, 1 red, 1 blue. There we go. Done.
Oh well.
So, yeah, that was my special gift to everyone who's presented the podcast as our 5-year thing.
Anniversary present.
I can't believe you guys.
God help us. God help us if it gets to 10. That's all I'll say. But yeah,
we're as surprised as you, John.
Yeah, it does seem to be the anniversary of podcasts at the moment.
Well, there was a lot that kind of started up around about then. You've got all the kind of the Muse on Minis lads. If Flat Cap and Whip It Radio had been going, they'd have been from about the same time. So yeah, it's.
You've seen the mysterious Mr. X has reappeared on the Age of Sigmar scene.
No.
Still lying to his wife to go to tournaments.
I'm not even going down that road. Yes.
Business meetings. Sorry, business.
Got a conference. Yeah, conference.
Yeah. All prize givings in a suit.
Yeah.
Yes. Always.
Oh dear.
So tempted just to reveal the name.
I think we all know the name.
Well, no, his wife might be listening.
I was definitely. Obviously, there's a real risk. Yeah.
Well, we can't reveal his name because his name's the same as the new Hordes faction. So.
Okay.
I think Mysterious Mr. X is definitely better anyway.
Yeah.
Are the rumours true that the SmogCon model is just going to be a pumpkin with a top hat and waistcoat on?
I cannot comment on what the model is.
Do you know what the model is?
I do.
Interesting.
No, let me clarify that. I know a specific aspect of it.
Pumpkin.
It's not a pumpkin. Well, it could be a pumpkin. I don't know that.
Oh, you backtrack. See, keep saying things, Benjamin. Instead, say no and then backtrack.
I can't say any more than that. What can I say? It's cool. It's cool. And PP have revealed that it's an alternate sculpt for a unit, so it will take the form much like the kilt lifter or the lassie mechanic. You can sub in.
So it's a model from a unit.
Yeah, so it's not a solo or a character. It's a part of a unit. You can swap out your unit leader to have your special SmogCon unit leader.
Interesting.
That's very cool.
It's interesting the kind of the increased sort of ramp of special things the UK has kind of got over the last few years. We've had our Masters pin, we've had a special SmogCon pin for last year, and this year we're getting a model.
A model, yeah.
So, is there any? That is one thing I wanted to mention. And obviously, you've not kind of mentioned it, so I assume it's not going to happen. But is there going to be another SmogCon pin, or is it just the con exclusive?
I believe it's just the con exclusive mini. I've not been told of any pin put like that.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't think we were getting a mini, and that got dropped on me by surprise. So who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? And don't forget as well that on the UK exclusive things, it's not so much UK, but it was an EU exclusive, with the Ruin pin and the Sacral Vault pin as well. When they were released, there was a pin with both of those for the EU only.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, PPR, they know we're here. They're throwing us bones. It's all good. So yeah.
I was going to say that we're getting some of their stuff for SmogCon, so it's a good start.
Yeah. So anyone who's thinking of going to SmogCon should definitely go to SmogCon. And if you've already bought a ticket, buy another ticket.
I mean, I think if you've been listening to this podcast since the start 5 years ago, the amount of times you'll have heard us say, go to SmogCon, it really should just be conditioned into you by now. Just at a certain point of year, start looking at the SmogCon website and go, can I buy tickets yet? So,
And the website looks quite nice now. I want to say thanks to Charlie for that. He
yes, it is very nicely done.
and, yeah. And obviously people are, which is very good. So it does look quite now. Like I'm one of these people that I believe in sort of functionality before anything else. So it was quite bare bones, and we've now made it pretty while still being informative, I hope. So yeah, cheers to Charlie for that. And I think he's going to help me do the booklet again this year. So he's a good lad. And the other thing, of course, is Britain decided to tank its economy. So if you're coming from outside of a sterling country,
hey, he's allowed to talk about it. He's allowed to talk about it. Why aren't I?
That wasn't strictly political. That was just tanking the economy.
No, it was economic, Ben. So yeah, so anyone coming from here, kind of a bargain. I think the Irish lads are telling me they're basically all in for 200 quid for the con, which is pretty decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not bad for a 3-day event. That's flights, hotel.
So they found when they want to swap their money, they got given more money than they asked for, and it was.
Yes. Don't swap your pounds for euros at airports, people. It's a mugs game. So sad.
Now, I would say there was someone on Twitter who said someone had lost their holiday money, and they'd recently found £1,000 worth of euros in their house that they bought 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So they were quite happy when they found that.
So was it £1,000 of the euros, or was it just €1,000?
It was £1,000 worth of euros when they originally bought it.
Okay, so about £12,000.
£2,000 now.
So it's worth more now, even with commission.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we've covered a lot of SmogCon there. If you want basically the same information in textual form, you can go to smogcon.com. I believe it is SmogCon on Twitter, and you can search for SmogCon on Facebook as well.
That's correct.
Are you on Google Plus?
No.
It wasn't Google Plus.
We are on Google Plus. We've got no followers on it, but we are on Google Plus.
Yeah.
What about Bebo and MySpace? Are you on there?
Oh, God.
No, not at all.
Do they even exist anymore? That's the key question.
I'm pretty sure MySpace does.
Keeps getting hacked.
Anyway, I think that now we've gone through all that, and it's been a sort of a very informative evening with John. I would do any other business, but I think we can save that for our next podcast. So,
bedtime.
Is there anything anyone else wants to say before we sign off?
Pokemon Sun and Moon's out next month, and it's looking pretty good.
If you are going to play Pokemon Sun and Moon, the demo is out now and allows you to carry some stuff over to the main game. Just throw that there.
Green Ninja, Ash's Green Ninja. I've already got him.
There we go.
Because of course I have.
I never doubted you.
Why would
John.
you not?
I never doubted you. For all those looking for an alternative to Pokemon Sun and Moon, pick up the latest Dragon Quest on Nintendo 3DS.
What the hell, do we work for Nintendo now?
No. I just love my 3DS.
Smogcon, didn't you hear?
Is that the new reveal? The new faction?
Yeah, it's a really funny joke.
Super Mario
Knows what's going on at the moment, but hey.
Anyway,
so sad.
I think at this point, it's all that remains to say thank you to John for coming along and giving us an evening's informative stuff about SmogCon.
Yeah, cheers for having me, Dennis. It's always fun to come on the show. The last remaining British podcast, I think.
Oh, that makes me sad.
This is a very efficient podcast. John's brought a level of efficiency to this one entirely.
Yeah.
I got to go to bed. This has gone to bed.
Also,
now.
Yeah, we did miss out a lot of the random burbling. But yes,
I'll be on every week.
Yeah, we do miss boosted damage, John. So it's.
I've still got my boosted damage magnet somewhere.
No, mine's on the fridge. One day.
Yeah. Anyway, so all it remains now is to hand over to Alex to sign us out.
Yeah, you've been listening to Elite Cadre, the SmogCon and WCTC podcast that doesn't take itself too seriously.
Okay.
I've been Alex.
I've been Mike.
I've been Kurt.
I've been Benj.
Shut up, Benj.
I'm Pikachu.
Pika Pika.
Right. So now that the podcast is over, what's the name of the faction?
We're definitely not still live.
I am going to press the stop broadcast button now before John says anything he regrets. Thank you for everyone who's listened in, all three of you. We'll be back in.
Oh, John's just sent the name in the private messaging group.
Wow.
That's incredible, John.
You can